one last thing before we move on here, and talking about Mid-South reminded me, if you could do this rather briefly, because I don't want to get you going. But
oh, boy.
One of the listeners recently got in touch with me, and he's a younger listener, I think, or at least he wasn't there during the Mid-South era, and he asked me about Lafayette, Louisiana, his hometown, if there was wrestling there. And, of course, I knew there was, but do you have any Lafayette stories?
Oh, God, yes. That was the only scaffold match that we actually enjoyed because Lafayette, the ring it was an auditorium, and the ring was set up on the stage. And there was ringside on seats, about 4 rows on 3 sides, in front of the curtain and the 2 sides of the ring. But in front, where the big people were, imagine a big auditorium, big movie theater type thing. On that side, there's no ringside. And then you have the drop off of the orchestra pit, and then you have the goddamn people. So, several things. Number one, the roof was only so high, so they could only have a scaffold that was 14 feet off the ground. So, I mean, the guys literally hung their feet were 4 feet off the thing, but the people they still took it like it's a goddamn battle over a fucking goddamn Grand Canyon. And also, that's where I perfected. It was the only time I've ever been able to take this bump. And finally, I took this bump 3 shows in a row just because it was so fucking spectacular for me to be able to take this bump. And then I think it was Bobby actually said to me, Cordy, you can't take that bump every week or every show in the same town. I discovered quite by accident that because even though there was no people on the front side of the stage, there was a railing because it was on all 4 sides. The railing, it was all screwed in together. And I found out if Ricky and Robert drop kicked me off the apron, if I just turned and jumped down and landed with both feet, that railing was right there where I could flip over it and land flat on my back on the fucking ground, looking like I'd been fucking killed and still I wasn't out in the people where they could kill me. So I did that about 3 times. It looked slicker than cum on a gold tooth. But that's when they told me the reason for not doing the same fucking thing in every goddamn show, because sooner or later people will figure out it's phony. So I had to quit doing that. That's my Lafayette story. And actually at one point during the spring and summer when Mid-South was so hot with the last Stampede and the start of the Rock and Roll Midnight Feud, we sold out, I think, 3 times in a row in Lafayette, Louisiana at 3 different gate amounts because after the first sellout, they raised ticket prices a couple bucks across the board and sold out again. And for the next one, they did the same goddamn thing and sold out again. So it was it only held 2,500 people, I think, or something like that. It was moderately sized, but, it was hot. It was a hot town at that time.